Rating celebrities I've met, part 1. First up is Mariska Hargitay. I'm going to give her like a 9 out of 10 because she was super awesome and sweet. She made sure to say hi to everybody on set, did not care how small your part was, made sure to say hi, but you could tell that she was definitely the star of the show. Next up is Emilia Clarke. I'm going to give her a 10 out of 10 because you would never have known that she was as famous as she is by having a conversation with her. I met her at the Game of Thrones premiere and she was a sweetheart. All she was doing was complaining about her shoes, which was really funny, and she was just so sweet, just really nice. Rest in peace, Juice WRLD. He's up next. I'm going to give him a 10 out of 10 too because he was really nice and I felt really bad. I was helping with a guest list for a really big party and he kept telling me his name and he just was not on the list. And so I told him like he had to go home. I was like, I'm sorry, you're not on the list. And then he told me he was probably under his stage name. And I was like, what is your stage name? And he said Juice WRLD. And I was like, oh my God, go ahead. He was on the list. Really nice guy. Like for part 2. Rating celebrities that I've met, part 2. Alright, first up is Lil Yachty. I'm going to give him a 10 out of 10, but for a different reason than my other 10 out of 10s. This one is because he's just a normal person, and I appreciate him for being just normal around other normal people. So I met him at this party, and he was just, like, a genuinely, like, nice individual. He didn't act any type of special way, didn't expect special treatment. He was just chill. I appreciated that, so 10 out of 10 for him. Next up is Howie Mandel, and I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10, but that's only because I've met much more humble celebrities. With him, the 2 or 3 times I met him, it was just like a quick, hey! And like that was it, and he just kept walking. But I mean, you can't really expect more from him anyway, so it's fine. Kit Harington, I gotta give a 2 out of 10 because I wasn't allowed to talk to him because apparently he doesn't like to talk to people that aren't celebrities or aren't famous. I really don't know, but I wasn't allowed to speak to him, so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and give him a 2. Like for part 3, rating celebrities that I've met, part 3. Okay, first up is Ice-T. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 because I literally walked into this man. I was on the set of Law & Order. It was my first time on. I was super nervous and excited because it's my favorite show. And I was directed to walk a certain direction, so I started walking in that direction. And then he was walking, and we just kind of like collided. And I literally walked into him, and then he just like brushed it off like nothing ever happened. But it was really awkward, and I don't know. I just felt really uncomfortable about it. So really, I don't know. He seems nice, but that was my only interaction with him, so. Next up is Justin Bieber. I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10 only because our interaction was super, super quick. It was just a meet and greet. He looked like that. I was like 12, 13 or something, and he was nice, but like there's really not much to talk about besides just like a, hey, thanks for coming, here's my autograph kind of thing. So there's that. Abigail Breslin I met at the audition for American Girl. I was auditioning to be her best friend at the time. I didn't get it, but she was okay. I'm going to give her a 7 out of 10 because she was just like average kid. Rating celebrities that I've met, part 4. So first up, we have Jamie Hyder. I did Mariska Hargitay in part 1, but Jamie Hyder I didn't do, maybe because I didn't have the guts to spill my bad experience with everyone on like this platform, but now I have the guts, so here we go. So I met her on the set of Law & Order before she was even announced on the show, before anyone even knew who she was, who her character was. She was on set all day. I had no idea who this woman was, but like everyone was being all chatty and talkative, and she was just like walking around like she was hot shit. I don't know how else to describe it. She looked us in the eye, walked right away, not even a freaking smile. Not even a smile, not even like a little smirk. I was at least expecting like a, you know, when you walk past someone, you make eye contact with them all day. But no, I didn't even get that. Next up, we have Donnie Wahlberg. He's from the Saw movies and he's from Blue Bloods. This man, if I could give him 1,000, I would, because he was just so down to earth. The best celebrity I've ever met by far. I met him multiple times. He remembered me. We're like friends now. It's great. I'd love to share a story time about him. So like for that story time. Hey, yeah, can we have a table for 2, please? But do you think it can actually be table either 13 or table 22? Because those are, like, the best tables, obviously. Yeah, no, I actually used to work here, yeah. I used to work here, yeah. I know exactly how you feel, girl. Like, don't worry, you're gonna get through this. I actually don't need a menu, I know exactly what I'm getting, but do you know if Joe's working tonight? Because if Joe's working tonight, you have to tell him that Kirsty's here. He's going to freak out if he knows I'm here. You have to let him know. Yeah, I used to work here, so yeah, he'll know exactly who you're talking about. He'll know exactly who I am. Yeah, we're ready to place our order, yeah. But actually, I know it's super busy in here, like, it looks really crazy, and I know the feeling. So if you need me to go into the back and just place the order for you, like, I have absolutely no problem doing that, just let me know. Oh my God, Joe, it's so good to see you. I know, I try not to come back in here, but like my friends wanted to see it, so obviously I had to bring them in here and show them where I worked for so long. It's so good to see you. How have you been? So tell me about this new hostess. She was a little weird and a little like cranky. I don't know how I liked her. Is she nice? Do you like her? Yeah. Fun facts about Law & Order SVU that you probably did not know. I'm a huge Law & Order SVU fan, and I've gotten to be on the show twice, so I learned some really interesting things while being on set. The first one is any scene that's indoors, every single person that you see is paid to be there. Every single person was given a direction, a motive, something. They are paid to be there. They are background actors. But anything that's outdoors is a mix. So you'll have background actors, then you'll have regular people, because they don't always close off like sidewalks. I actually don't think that they can. I'm not so sure about that one. But it's very easy to detect who is paid to be there versus who's not. If you watch any episode and you see an outdoor scene, pay attention. People that are confused looking, those are real people. People that are just walking and not looking at the camera, those are paid people to be there. They don't put signs outside when they're filming outdoors because they don't want to grab attention, even though they have a camera crew and everything. So people just start walking and they're like confused. I'm out of time, Blake, for part 2. Alright, so I see here that Katie's afraid of heights, so we're going to actually put her on a one-on-one, skydiving one-on-one with him sometime either this week or next week. I also see here that Victoria was complaining heavily about how she hasn't had any time alone with him, so we're going to make sure that we put her on a group date this week, and we're going to make sure that we include the girl from the last one-on-one, because it was very obvious when she got back from the date that they had a fantastic time and made all the girls very jealous, so we're going to make sure that she's there on that group date, okay? Victoria also keeps calling herself a queen, so we have to make sure that we bring a real queen in, okay? Make sure that she's wearing her crown as well. Wait, Matt, you wanted to get rid of her this week? Yeah, that's not gonna work because we actually have something planned for next week that's gonna, like, really shake the house up and really, like, get something started for the viewers. So we can get rid of her next week, but I don't think it's gonna work this week. Oh, you don't know who else to get rid of instead? We can get rid of Anna. It's really clear that, like, she's not the one. Let's be real. It's just clear. Like, we already know who's gonna be the one. Let's be real. We do. We do know. We know. So, yeah. No. Yep. Here's the story of how I met this guy, Donnie Wahlberg, and had absolutely no freaking idea who the heck I was talking to. So I was on the set of Blue Bloods. It was my very first time on set. I was background extra, and I was just honestly so excited to be there. This was my second time on the set of a show. I was just so pumped to be on the set of a show. So all the background extras are just kind of like chilling, waiting for direction, and this guy's just waiting by himself. So I go up to him, I'm talking to him, we're just having like cool conversation. He tells me all about Boston, and I'm like, wow, you come all the way here from Boston to be an extra? That's crazy! So then the director calls places, and then he calls action, and then I realize who the heck I was talking to. I was talking to the lead of the frickin' show. I'm sitting there so embarrassed. Well, figured out he knew that I had no idea who he was, and he appreciated it, I think, so much that I treated him like a normal person. So then someone from the set comes up to me, and they're telling me not to talk to him. So Donnie Wahlberg comes up to us, and he's like, no, she's cool, we're pals. And that's the story of how now every time I'm on set, he says, what's up? And we're cool. I honestly feel bad for any little girl that did not get to experience going to Libby Lou, whether it was for shopping or for a party, because this place was so much freaking fun. Oh my god. Now, I don't know about you, but when I went to birthday parties at Libby Lou, I was not allowed to wear the clothes that the other girls were allowed to wear, because this store would literally put you in like these little teeny tiny two-piece outfits, and you would like parade around the mall in them. And my mom was so not with that, but this store was so odd but so cute at the same time. Looking back on it, I understand why it's not a business anymore. They would basically, like, it was a whole experience for little girls to experience being like a rock star for a day. So like you were kind of like Hannah Montana for a day, you know, the whole makeover, the nails, the, you know, be pretty and a rock star. And like, honestly, it's just baffling just thinking about this business, but I do miss it. I do. I can't lie.